Hello everyone, welcome to I Learn Digital class. My name is Steven. I want to use this medium to appreciate those that are already subscribed to my YouTube channel. I'm so grateful. Thank you so much for taking your time to subscribe. Thank you for the like. I'm grateful for the comment as well, and taking your time to share my videos on your different social media platforms. I'm so grateful for that. So if you are watching this video and if you have not yet subscribed to my YouTube channel, please kindly subscribe to my YouTube channel, and don't forget to hit on the notification button as well, so that anytime I upload educative and interesting video like this, you'll be the first person to get the notification. So without any further ado, a few days ago I started a project on this channel. I call it Hospital Management System with Nodejs, Expressjs, JavaScript template ng, that's EJS, and MySQL as a database. So if you haven't yet seen my previous video, this is going to be my fourth, the part 4 of this project series. So if you have not yet seen my previous video, please kindly go and watch the previous video, so that you'll be able to understand what we are trying to do. So I'm going to drop the link to the description below, so just kindly go and watch the previous video on this particular project. So in my last video, we tried to create an API for our sign up function. So we created the sign up, we're able to save to our database, but there was one major issue in my last video. I discovered that, okay, let's quickly go into my text editor now. So I discovered that in my last video we were trying to save into our database, but it's not working. We are not trying to get any of our data to save in our database. So the reason is because let's go into our inside the controller folder, the sign up. So let's come down here and see what is happening. Okay, let's go inside our models, then DB controller. So down here there is a mistake I made in my last video. That was why we are not getting any data to save in our database. And the mistake I made was that this function here, this function that I defined here, should be inside this query, should be inside this place. So I'm going to copy right from here now. I'm going to copy it right from, let me check where these coil brackets they close. Okay, I'm going to copy it right from here now. So I'm going to move it inside this close brackets here. So I'm going to move these functions inside this place. So once that is done, so let me save now. Let me save. So let's check if the user data now is going to save inside our database. So before we can do that, just make sure that you start your head onto your SAMP. Make sure you start your Apache and MySQL as well. So make sure you start it. So once you've done that, then make sure you open your command prompt, and you go inside your folder and you type npm run dev. So that will enable your project to run locally on your computer. So now we are going to use Postman to check if everything is working fine. In my last video, I've showed you how you can use Postman to check any of your your API to test, to make some tests if everything is working fine. So we are going to use Postman to confirm if our data is going to save. So here we want to get the username, we want to get the email, we want to get the password as well, and this is the verified. So here are the values. This is my username, this is my email address, so this is my password, and this is verified, showing that the user is not yet verified. So what I'm going to do now is that just come down here, you select because what we want to do is that we want to post inside our database. If you want to retrieve any data from your database, you are going to use get. But this time around, what we want to do is that we want to post some information inside our database. So we are going to select post here. So I'm going to click on this send button. So let's see if we are going to get any data saved in our database. All right, so it says check your email for token to verify. So let's come here. So I want to confirm now if this data is saved inside our database. So now let's go here and let's let me click on this is my database name. So I want to check if the user I just the details is saved inside my database. So inside this user's table, let's cross check. All right, as you can see now, this is my ID, this is my username, and this is my email, as you can see now, and this is my password. So the email status is not verified. The reason is because I have not yet verified I've not yet confirmed my email address. I've not yet verified my email address, so that's why I'm getting not verified here. Here is my password. Here is my email, my username, ID. So everything is working fine. So as you can see now, we've been able to solve that major issue that we were unable to solve in my last video. So the user's details is now saved inside our database. So today we are going to be we are going to proceed in on this project. So what I want to do today is that we want to create the login functions now. That is the API for login. So how are we going to do that? So now the first thing we have to do is that we have to come inside our app.js. So inside this app.js, we have to come here and say variable now. Let me say variable login. Variable login is equals to require. All right. I'm gonna say require. So we have to locate where this login. This is what the same thing we did for our sign up. What we did was that we locate where we want to define the functions for our login. It's inside the controllers folder, and the name of that file is sign up. So even though I've not yet created the functions for the login, I will still do that now. So but let's just come here and say controller now. Controllers slash login. That will be the name of the file. So let's come down here and say that okay, that will be app dot use. So we're going to come here down here. So what is the router we want to use for it? So it's going to be login. So let's put it here to be login. So that's the router login. So yeah, this is the function now. Don't forget. So we are trying to get this function from our login from inside the controller folder login. So yeah, the function we are trying to anytime the user tries to go to this route, what we the function that is going to run is this login function. Hope you get that now. So it's this login function. So now let's come inside our controller here and create that login now, login file. So let's save. That'll be login.js. All right. So the first we want to do now is that we need to require Express MySQL. We'll be doing this in my previous video. So what I'm just going to do is that let me just come to this sign up. So for the sake of time, I'm going to copy some of these things there and remove the ones that I don't really need. So come inside this login.js and paste. So I don't need this. I don't need node mailer because we are not sending any message. I don't need node mailer. I don't need random token as well. I don't need this. Okay. So what are the things I need that is not here? I need okay, let's say variable session now. We need to require session. It's equals to require. All right. It's equals to require. Then what do we want to require now? That is express session. Let's say express session. So which other things do we need? Okay, for this login, we have express. We have the validate. Okay, we need the suite alert now. So the suite alert is going to help us to to customize our the alerts. So we're gonna say suite alert is equals to require. Okay. Because to require then suite alert 2. All right. Okay, suite alert. Okay, so which other thing do we need? We've gotten the database, we've gotten my SQL, we've gotten suite alert. All right. So now the next thing we want to do is that we need to right from this login function, we want to connect to our database. Are you getting it now? So it's one of the things we need to do here. We need to connect into our database right from this login function. So for us to be able to do that, so let's just come down inside this our DB controller. So we need to copy some of these things here. So let's copy this. This is our this host here is the local host. This user is the root. That is my username. This is helping us to connect to our database. So I need to copy all these details here and come inside this login and paste this here. Okay. So now the next thing we want to do is that we want to make sure that okay, so let me see. So okay, let's come down here. Let's come down, let's say router. Let's say router router.use. Okay, router.use session. Okay, router.use session. Open this bracket here. Come down. Let's say secret now. That is, we need to have a secret. We need to have a secret code here. So let's say secrets. Let's type secret here. So it could be anything you want. So let's come down here and say resave true. So what we're trying to do is that I'm trying to save the user's details. Are you get what I'm saying now? Anytime the users come back and use that browser, peradventure, if the user have not yet, log out from the hospital management system, it's still going to discover the user anytime the user comes and use the same browser. So that's what I'm trying to do here. So I'm gonna say resave, we set it to true. All right. So we say save. Let's come here and say save in save on initialized. I want to be very sure if the spelling is correct. Save on initialized. Okay, so we set it to true as well. Okay, so now let's come down here and say router now. Router.use. Okay, so we need to get the body parser. So let me just come here and copy this. This is what I need. So the body parser here. So let me come down here inside our login and paste it here. Okay, so let's proceed. So the next thing we want to do now is that we want to validate now. That is, if the user don't input either the username and the password, we want to give an error. We want to tell the user that, see, you must surely input your username and password. So that's what we want to do now. So we're gonna say router now. Router.post. Okay, router.posts. Posts. Okay, so we're gonna have this here. We're gonna say that we come here, we open just like the way we did when we wanted to validate the sign up. So we want to make sure that the user input their necessary details before they can log in. So now we're going to say that what do we want to validate? We want to validate the username and the password. So we are going to say that we're going to pass here check. So we want to make sure that we check username. Okay, so it should be inside this place. We're gonna say check username. All right, check username. So we're gonna say check username. That is if username dot not empty. Okay, dot not empty. Then we want to send a message that username is required with message saying that username is required. So we need to do the same thing too for the password. Username is required. Okay, so we need to do the same thing also for the password. So let me just put a comma here. Then let me copy this right from here. Okay, so let me copy this. Let me bring it down. So we paste. So now we need to change this username here to password. We need to change this username here to password. Okay, so we're gonna say password is required. So let's change this username here from username is required to password is required. Okay, so the next thing we now want to do is that then we now want to write some functions here. I'm gonna say function. Okay, function passed request as a parameter. Request we have response. Response. All right, so we're gonna say constant errors. That is, if there is an error, constant errors is equals to validation result request. Validation results. Then we need to pass request here. So pass request here as a parameter as well. So then we're gonna say that if there is an error now, if there is no error rather. So if there is no error, errors. So what do we want to do? So we want to say dot is empty here. We pass this here. Then we want to return. We're going to come here and return. I'm gonna say return response. Return response dot JSON. Okay. Dot status rather. Dot status. Then we have 422. That is, this is the response. If there is no error, this is the response we want to get. So JSON, okay. So we need to pass error here, saying errors. So we pass error here as an array. I'm gonna say errors dot array. Okay, so that's all we need to do there. So the next thing we are going to do now is that we need to come here and say variable email is equals to, okay, is equals to request.body. So we are trying to get the email the user is going to input now. That'll be request.body.email. Okay, so we need to get the password as well. So we're gonna say that variable password, okay, variable password is equals to request dot body dot password. So what are we trying to do here as well? So we want to get the user's username, we want to get the user password as well. So now, having done that, so the next thing we now want to do is that if, so we have to come down here, okay. So we're going to say if, that is, if there is a username and password, if username and password, okay. So if username and password, then we want to say this conduct query now. That is, we want to get that user. We want to check if indeed that user is inside our database. I mean, we want to know if the user has already signed up. So that's what I want to do now. We want to confirm if peradventure the email address and the password the user is trying to use to log in is already existing in our password. So that is what our database rather. So that's what we want to do now. We're gonna say conduct query. So we'll come here and say that select. All right, say select. Okay. So we use this asterisk symbol here from users where username is equals to, let's put this question mark here, and password, okay, password is equals to, let's put this question mark here as well. So we need to come down here and say that okay, let me see, it should be out here. Let's put this here. So we have to pass this username here. We're gonna say username. We need to pass username, and we need to pass the password here as well. Username, password. Then we have a function here. Then we're going to say define a function here. Okay, I think it's getting too long. Let me break this down from here. Come on. Okay. So this is where we're going to write the function now. We need to pass error here as a parameter. So we pass error, we pass results. Okay, and we have to pass feed here as well. Feeds. Okay. So now what's the next thing we have to do now? The next thing we have to do is that, so we're going to say if results, all right, if results.length, if results.length, okay, is greater than 0. That is, if this user is already in a database, so it's greater than 0, then we have to come down here and say that requests, okay, we need to say request.session logged in, all right, logged in is equals to true. Then we're going to come down here and say that requests again. We're going to say request.session now, .session .username, all right, .username is equals to username, okay, is equals to username. Then we're going to say that let's come down here. I'm going to say response now, response dot cookie here, response.cookie. Then we have our username. So then we pass the username here as well. Okay, so username. So we're going to come down here and say variable now. Variable status, that is if status is not verified yet. Okay, there is an error here. Okay, let's say pass username here, and this should be small letter I here, that is login. So we're gonna say variable now. We're gonna say variable status. Okay, variable status is equals to results. Results. Then we'll pass this 0 here. We're gonna say email status. All right. So what we're trying to do is that I'm trying to, get, that is if this results now email status. That is if the email status is still equals to not verified. So I want to try to confirm if the user has not yet verified his or her email address. So I want to make sure to tell the user that please, you must verify your email address. So that is what I'm trying to do here now. I want to make sure that yes, the user has really verified his or her email address. So that's what I'm trying to do now. So now what are we going to do? We just have to give a condition here saying if status. Now don't forget, we've already saved this image status here inside this status. So we're gonna say that status now, if status is equals to not verified, is equals to not verified. So we want to tell the user that please. So this is the response we want the user to get. I'm gonna say response dot send. All right. I'm gonna say please verify. Please verify your email. So that is the response we want to give to the user. That see, please, you must make sure you verify your email address. So now let's come here and say s. If the user has verified the email address, so we want to say sweet alert. Now this is what we're going to make use of our sweet alert. We're gonna say sweet alert dot fire. So sweet alert dot fire. We want to give a response that's logged in. Okay. So that has the alert we want to give. Then we want to the next thing we want to do is that if the user has verified his email address, we want to redirect the user to the home page now. So once the user has logged in and the user has verified his or her email address, so we want to redirect the user to the home page. So how we're going to do that? We're just going to say response dot redirects. Okay, response dot redirects redirects. Okay. So response dot redirects. Where do we want to redirect the user to the home page? Even though we've not yet created any routes related to this, but let's just leave it like this. So to home page. So now let's come down here. So we have to come down here and say s. So I'm gonna say as response. Okay, response dot send. If peradventure the user inputs a wrong email, a wrong username or password, so we want to send a response to the user that your username and password is incorrect. So that's what I'm trying to do now. So we're gonna say response.send. Gonna tell the user that incorrect username or password. All right, incorrect username or password. So then we come down here and say response dot end. That is, we want to end the response dot end. Then we'll pass this here. So guys, this is all what we need to do. This is all what we need to do to create our login function. This is all what we need to do. So let's go and check if everything is working fine, if we are not getting any error. So let me save this now. Okay, so let me go into my command prompt and see if I'm not getting any error here. Okay, so I'm getting an error saying that router.use requires a middleware function. Okay, where are we getting that error? Inside requires a middleware function but get an object. Okay, so controllers login.js. Let me see where we are getting that error from. So say variable router is equals to express.router. Okay, so let me check where we are getting the error from. Okay, variable express equals to required. Okay, let me see where are we getting the error from. If you save inside our app.js. Okay, let me save this and go back again. All right, guys, so the reason why we are getting this error, the reason why we are getting router.use require a middleware blah blah blah, is just because we failed to export our router. So let me just do that here. It's just a single line of code. We're gonna say module.exports is equals to router. So we need to export this router here, so to make it work. So that's why we are getting that error. So that error should disappear now. So let's go back into our command prompt, so and see if the error is disappeared. So as you can see now, the error is gone. So the error is gone. So what we now have to do is that let's go into our post. Okay, I think it's complaining about something. Undefined safe initialized option provided in login.js. Let me check. I think something should be wrong with the way I spelled it. Safe. Let me cross check if the spelling is correct. Safe on initialized. Okay, so let me see. Save on initialize. Okay, I know the spelling is not correct. I should have this here. Save on initialized. Okay, so let me save now. Let's go back here. That complaint should disappear. Okay, so as you can see now, we no longer have this complaint here because the spelling here is not correct, so it should be saved on initialized. So let's go into our postman and let's see if we are going to get some reasonable response there. So what we just have to do is that we need to change this route here to login, from sign up to login. So let's change this to login. Okay, so don't forget, what we still want to do is we still want to post. So what we only need here is just the username and the password. So let me remove this verify here. So I need to remove this verify, and I need to remove this email address as well. So the only thing we need is the username and password. So that's the only thing we need. So let's see if it's going to work well now. So localhost 3000/login. So let me click login. I should be able to get a response saying that I've not yet verified my email address, which is the right response we should get. So let me click on send. Okay, so as you can see now, check. Okay, since check your email for login to verify. Is that okay? No, saying username is not defined at where login.js. So let's go and check that. Saying username is not defined. Okay, so let me check it. Username is not defined at login.js 39. So let's go and look at that. Login 39. Username is not defined. Oh, let me see. This place should be username, not password. This place should be username. This place should be username, not password. So sorry for that. So this should be username. Then we have username here as well. So it should be username, not email. So let me save now. So let's go back into our postman and try to resend. Now. All right. Okay. We are still getting username is not defined. Why is that happening? Username is not defined. At login gs39. I thought I've solved that. Username is not at 39. Username. Okay. Variable username request.body. So the username we shouldn't be getting not defined, because this is we have variable username request.body username, variable username request.body username. Then we have if username, because we've already saved. Okay, now let me just console.log username here. So let's see, console.log username. So we'll be able to know why we are getting this error. Okay, console.log username. Let's save. So we already have variable username is equals to request.body.username, variable password. Okay, so let's go back into our Postman and send once again. Let me go back here and send. Okay, guys, I'm getting an error here saying that cannot set headers after they are sent to the client. So okay, anyway, in my next video I'm going to definitely provide the solutions to this, but this is how we are going to this is how we are going to write the functions for our login. So don't worry about that, everything should be working fine. Everything should be working fine. This is the way we are going to write. So I'm going to provide I'm going to look for why we are getting that error saying that cannot send headers after they are sent to the client. So in my next video I'm going to provide solutions to that. So but today what we have been able to do is that we've been able to create the login functions and the API for that. So this is all we need to do. This is all we need to do. So I'll be in my next video I'll be able to give you the solutions to why we are getting that error. So I believe you've learned one or two things today anyway. So, and if you are watching this video now and if you really enjoyed this teaching, please kindly hit the subscribe button. So don't forget as well to hit on the notification button so that anytime I upload videos like this, you'll be the first person to get the notification. So I really want to appreciate you for taking your time to watch this video. So don't worry, everything will be working fine. I'm going to provide solutions to those errors we are getting in my next video. So but this is what we need to do to make sure that we create the API for our login. So I'm very sure of that everything will be working fine. So thank you so much for taking your time to watch. I'm still your host, still your friend, still your brother Steven. Thank you so much.